team in terms of leadership. And remember that Sanji was the in-game leader for Simon Gaming when they actually had that run at the CIS Minor. So I think that what you're including with him is another one of those voices that can contribute input throughout the mid-rounds, and that's just going to help Avangar continue to develop communication and team play that goes so nicely with the skill we know they have.
And he's young too, right?
I believe so.
One thing that would be so interesting to look at is how much a player develops when they become an IGL and then they play on another team where they're not calling, because like emotionally speaking, you learn so much about yourself and how to control your emotions, and then how to handle all of these other players on your team when you're an IGL. Whether or not you keep that role in your next team, and I feel like it's really important. It's kind of a trial by fire, a rite of passage, if you will, for players to take on that role at one point or another, so they understand how to be led as well as be leaders. And so even if he's not calling here, he could add in and have really good input, as well as probably be a little bit more emotionally stable.
So into the action we go. This is a big B setup. Just talked about it. Here we have it. Headshots. Look at that kill feed. It's just James walking in from CT spawn. In a mere moment, his entire team has tumbled, but he can still clutch this out. We know James is almost cerebral in these kinds of situations, and both these Ts are backing over towards coffins. He's put down Moose. It's just Vanity, and James gonna tag him low. 36 health as James swaps. At least he wants the Glock, and it's a P2000 instead. The headshot could be his, but it's not there as of yet. It's just gonna take that tap. Defuse for Avangar. They're gonna open with a pistol.
That was wicked from James. You saw how he held that angle. He predicted exactly where food was gonna pop out, or Vanity, whoever just died. Already forgot. But the round that was basically impossible to cast, I've never seen so many kills go down on the kill feed instantaneously. I think that was the first time I've seen that many kills happen at once at a pro match. But it was clear that Avangar were aware it was probably going to be a B hit. Yeah, and then eUnited are going to be happy to take the fights. And to be honest, you can have a CT stack up there, but once the Ts cross that half wall, it's basically 50-50 with the Glocks. The inaccuracy is not much of a problem. They've got lots of bullets in the mag, and they also have a numbers advantage, even though it was 5v3 or 5v4.
This is a killer round. We got 3 armored AK-47s, a Scout and Deagle with no Kevlar, but eUnited very much invested in this one. That bomb's gonna float back on the shoulders of Food. We do have that banana presence already. I love that Dust mentioned, you know, the importance of the B-site players and how he thinks that that's gonna be the big clash in this matchup, and that we got a 4-man B-stack in literally the pistol. So you can't tell me Avangar, you know, have written off eUnited. Clearly they're versed in their setups, but this top mid control starting to come in, and a flub smoke from James. Oh, does he get back? In fact, yes. Hides back behind arches. Leaves a gap for the T's to try and cross with, where Vanity uses that Deagle to open. And we're not talking about one of the AK players. He's supposed to be the feeder. But here comes Kicker with that double log. And now the peek off James shuts down arch control entirely. Unfortunately for the bomb carrier, he's pinned in, but he will still have a chance to plant. Or not even.
Oh yeah, no bomb goes down. Really well played from James. I like how he knew how to fall back. His teammate was there and he was ready to peek, but he didn't act on that urge and instead was a bit more careful, fell back into CT, rotated around to library, and then always threatened presence in the CT spawn. So if he dies, then the rotate opens up for the B split, and that's a whole bunch of problems for his team that they no longer had to deal with. So him just staying alive was very smart there, known to be a passive player, but also very intelligent from that same perspective. And now we're going to have another setup with the 3 B players, Buster's throwing splashes, and James going up for the peak. No one here just yet.
Very aggressive. He's going to happily wield said AK. A little bit of a help coming out from now. The T is at the bottom of mid. Smoking that off and swapping weapons. Don't be surprised to see James maybe fly through this, but it's a slight opening for Moose. Charges headstrong up lane side, and now maybe Vanity can come in with that late split. However, Sanji's gonna reposition and get the best of him.
Seems like the round is coming to a close already. You know, one thing, I feel like for eUnited, I mean, I feel for Avangar, unless they're a little nervous, this is gonna be an insane match for eUnited to win. Like, Avangar are so terrifying, especially on the T side, and that'll be in the second half, where they play so slow. I feel like when new teams play them, good or bad, they always have so much trouble getting used to the fact that Avangar are just like this incredibly slow but meticulous team, and you will always see them use every second of the round to try to build upon something, to get map control, to work towards a site, and I think that's very intimidating for CT teams. The only other team that I think is kind of like that is Furia, and it's cool that they're both at this tournament. Yeah. So I'd really like to see those storylines develop.
Fingers crossed, Mohan. We might even get it twice if we're talking like winners best of 3 and possibly finals. Who knows? Who knows? But with the GG live bet odds still swung in the favor of Avangar, understandably so. Right now, of course, we've got that buyback. Vanity's going to take early damage, and Food's going to die to the flames. Kicker had him pinned into it. There's that op dropping Vanity. Moose is going to try to come out from porch, but a smoke in his face denies him. And so he does walk back.
Very quick round so far. Not a single point of damage until I said that. Kicker dies on T, so that opens things up, but it also activates Buster, falls back to throw a grenade, does a fair bit of damage, and I think that's an aggressive smoke on the site. It goes a little bit deep, though. Buster's not going to peek off the flash, being very patient, lets the fight come to him.
Yeah, good flash assist there from Fitch. Markey taken down. Cooper's unable to respond, but the op shot's got him. That's 2 kills for Cooper. Potter emphasizing that he may have impact, could get it done on the CT side, but right now it's that offensive op that has created the space enough for this bomb to be planted. But unfortunately for Cooper, he's drawn in 2 directions. The bomb planter won't be covered. He's not even able to trade. Fitch slays the 2 remaining Ts, and that's a 4-0 start for Avangar.
No, they really played that round like chess. The advantage there for the op to get to quad is enormous, especially since he can protect the bomb planter, and we saw that Fitch was too afraid to peek Hans, as he should have been, but Avangar, realizing that, understood what the next step was, and that was to flash in so they could go ahead and peek that, and then it was safe. The Molotov to come out of quad, and yeah, Cooper could have hit the shot, but you have to give the advantage to Fitch. You know, he's not as nervous. He's not standing in fire. He's not understood that his position is being called out. So now James going to start off this round. It's another anti-eco, and he's got an op. Looks into ult, but doesn't want to get too aggro. Misses a no-scope, gives up an op as well, and that leaves A wide open.
He had a good frag grenade, heard that stampede moving forward. Smoke's gonna give a bit of cover, but Andy's lost his teammate. Andy gets picked. Now he's dropped. That's 2 AK-47s and an AWP given over to eUnited with a bomb plant on top of it. Smoke grenade, icing on the cake, excuse me, Molly. Not quite what they'd hoped for.
That lane is definitely the best place to take at this point. They don't know where the op is standing. They basically got to guess. And it looks like they're correct about this. Taking them down second will be a huge advantage. Vanity can try to bait them into the site if possible.
Yeah.
But you got to give the advantage to the Augs just for a second here. Oh, Kicker's already made the long rotate as well. Time ticks down, though.
Both players with a kit. Vanity's just going to go to the full back corner. Moose is going to have that first point of contact, hits the shot to Buster, and eUnited break onto the board with a pistol round rush.
They almost didn't have time to even get the defuse if they got the kill, so you would think that they maybe needed to speed that up a bit. The post plant was solid. I thought it would be much harder for the op to get the first kill, but we saw the noise started being made because the time was ticking down so far, and so Moose was able to take first contact and left a kill open for Vanity to grab, which is nice. Standard top from the site. You'll see that time and time again, especially in the 2v2s on A, but it's an eco round, stolen back from eUnited. Good way to recoup their losses from those previous few rounds. Another buy up here. James doesn't have armor on this round. It was a problem for him last round. They gave up the op that allowed the T's to get back into it, but it seemed like he was pretty aware of the thought that a rush might come his way. Oh, James. Wow. He's already off the server. Bottom banana control is still huge, though.
Yeah, Kicker, he's about to get flashed in. Problem is, it's being watched from 2 directions. Decides not to get aggressive here. eUnited could very well be drawn into him if Buster can do a good job of distracting, but Food just hits him with a drive-by, and Buster can't even trade. Despite Vanity being on 9 HP, he's gonna fall to the corner tree, and 2 more Ts were caught off guard, both of which taking damage, but both of which staying up and alive. How many times are they gonna fall victim to just these peaks?
Dude, these rotates are so good.
Fitch, right off the bomb, no cover, but Moose will trade it.
A good trade. If Moose was spotted first, other players' hands are busy, that round's over 1v2 in the 2v4 situation even. So a good attempt from Avangar, and I just got to say the rotates were so extremely fast.
Right.
I like that eUnited, took an advantage and ran with it. They took bottom banana control, which means that rotates would normally be very delayed. Teams are going to be very comfortable sitting at A. They've got lots of time to react, but that also allowed the CTs to rotate with enough time.
And look how well that caught eUnited off guard. 3 players dying there, just throwing grenades, assuming, as you said, that the rotates would be delayed 5 seconds even. But maybe Avangar can break back into the groove with a pistol round win of their own. They did get an opening kill. There's a Zeus in play with James, notorious for it. But eUnited are going to play this cautiously as they first get a bit of brackets control.
Sit and wait, it's terrifying. situation for the T's. Yeah, they've got guns, but 4v4, that is just where it gets so airy sometimes. Crosshair's not lined up just nice enough. Food ducks under it. They won't have that much more info. They are spelling utility. They've got a couple of smokes here to still approach a site, but it's all just a big bait. Try to honeypot them into the A site, and it's worked. The T's look like they're definitely going to go B here, and that is a good sign for eUnited.
Yep. Puts a bow on it with that final flash.
So count them up. Jame died 2 times with the op on rifle rounds, and then they proceeded to lose the round. I'm sure that's a stat that will follow up the same way every single round he dies, especially that early and with no kills to his name beforehand.
Sanji currently popping off despite a couple of rounds now lost. 10 kills already.
Yeah, that's crazy. 10 kills already.
Big Sanji from Uzbekistan. The only internationally...
Is that country really big? Well, Kazakhstan is huge.
Yes, it is.
I can't remember. Maybe I'm confusing the two. Kazakhstan's actually enormous. And no kills happened here, apart from the one in the early round. So this is kind of nice for the CTs. They don't really want to overstay. James gonna look for the Zeus, so they come for him, but they found save spots. Now we're within one. eUnited will buy up once again. Cooper's gonna be opping, James will be opping. Everybody's in their comfort zone. A lot of AUGs being bought up for the CTs naturally, and they can move out to their usual spots. I think James just needs to make sure he stays alive a little bit longer to make the rounds more competitive, because eUnited are doing a good job of killing him and then just converting very quickly. Was a 1v1 the other round though previously, so just one set of buys here for eUnited. Low on utility though, or Avangar, extremely low. They didn't have anybody sacrifice for an even, and James gets that opening kill as well.
That's just a raw op duel. An attempted flash, but James' eyes kept wide open, and then he repositioned so quickly, picking off Vanity from the other side. Mobile Opper is a problem for eUnited here in the 8th round.
Still 3 players at B because the CTs lack some info.
Yep. Lack info and also have successfully held.
I actually love, they saw James at lane, they said, all right, let's just walk Arch then. He was the man who was holding this down.
Gonna find a bit of real estate for free. Sanji, deep pit control. He's actually getting caught in the open, but the scope on the AUG helps him out, mitigates that distance. Moose activates out from porch, and James been cut off. He's lost the bomb site, sure enough. But if he waits with his teammates, they've got this retake in the bag. Not even needing to wait, of course, as he cuts down Moose. So Marky, 1 versus 4. James sitting on the 3K. And you can tell he's hungry for the 4th. 30 seconds on the clock, and he's completely encapsulated. Marky is doomed. There it is. Kicker comes out through smoke to seal off the round.
A much easier round. And again, it's revolving around James. He gets his op kills, they win. They don't get the trade, there's no trouble. Now, the adjustment from eUnited to, once they saw him after he got the 2nd kill, to at least try to take Arch off of this was very smart. And they were rewarded away to get into the site. Also, Moose throws a nice smoke on top of the balcony and is able to kill Pit, which it didn't seem like he had the angle, but even had one to try to jump up and kill Lane. James was just aware of what he was capable of doing from that spot. Now, another round where Banana's almost given up. They're throwing nades down here to try to get some residual damage in. So put the T's in somewhat of an awkward spot. They're trying to guess now, is there going to be a re-aggression? And there is one in. Kicker. Oh my goodness.
Whoa, kind of. Oh, Food with 3 headshots, just gobbles up the B site, swaps over to the op, and he's going to nail this rotator if he peeks out too wide. Teammates arrive, but not that bomb. It's a little delayed. Oh, even blind, he gets him. What a 4K from Food. Moose putting a nail in the coffin as once more he comes out from apps.
Man, that's insane. What a round. That was like a Freiburg-style banana ace.
Yeah.
Now that first kill, it seemed like someone lost control of their mouse or something like that. I don't know if you went limp there, but that was quite a dance. I like it. Yeah. But overall, this 3rd kill was just ridiculous. I mean, that night, that's, you know, yeah, that's a straight up pre-fire.
He's ready.
And James opping.
What's nice too is remember, Jame in the round previous, he was over towards Arch, he was over towards lane. They tried to move him to the B site with those standard B defenders and Kickert and Buster. So it is that three-piece. He peeks through smoke, fires the op, and then eUnited ask themselves, like, is he gone? Or has he just fallen to one of these deeper angles? So Food pre-fires, hits that headshot, just read him like a book. Like a Dr. Seuss book.
A picture book almost.
That's it.
Just flip through those pages. Round difference. And eUnited are on Avangar still. That was a really strong, really strong rifle round. And they get Jame third. So they deal with the attack. They take down 2 rifles first. They get Jame third. No response. Obviously, it's all just because of Food. But it's a round they win on Banana, which is really important. I think that now that they have their options open, they're going to be feeling a little bit more confident. And this all was kind of kickstarted by the fact that they got an eco round win by rushing A.
Just those pistols, yeah. Came up ult. Was able to again get past Jame, one of those key rounds where we put that pin on him. But as we hit a technical pause, we'll have some times to kind of to float on what we've seen so far here, Mohan. Sanji cooling off, 11 kills, so just 1 since we last brought him up. Jame, as we said, key piece, and despite it, not being super flashy, Moose has found himself into the double digits too. Food doubling his kills in just that last round, more than that.
And those are the big kills too.
Right, that's a round-winning situation, and 5 survivors on top of it in a gun round. That's big. That's a big momentum shift here for eUnited.
Now for Avangar, again, a round where Jame doesn't get a kill, they lose. I think that, again, it'll follow suit throughout the rest of these. It's going to be very important. eUnited are skipping steps. They're going to top mid. Now, think about when we watch like other kind of tier 1 teams play. There would never be an op duel that would be given up to a rifler, an op duel that would be given up from a rifler that easy, that early into a round, almost ever. That bottom mid peak, it's something you do just because you want to see if a team will skip steps, but it's usually not rewarded. And in this situation, eUnited are giving up that kill time and time again. So I would just again watch for Jame. He's going to play it simply. He's going to learn that they are playing very quickly, and then he might be offered up a couple of kills for free on these rifles. Now they do need to save more. Avangar were not sacrificing any AUGs for utility. So I think if they have an op, they have 2 rifles, and they have 2 AUGs, 2 rifles, and they have 2 umps, then they can get full utility belts on at least 2 people, and then really play that long round. If eUnited smell out that they're spending all their money on good guns and they're not going to have a lot of utility, they want to just make that round as long as possible.
Right.
So it's harder and harder for the CTs to win.
Bleed them out.
Yeah.
It's been called to a close, folks.
It's actually something that's kind of hard to calculate. If a team is, how many good guns do they have? Plus how much money do they have? Then they have a utility. And especially if the rounds end quickly, then they won't have a good read on how much utility was left over.
Excited to see how many more variations we're going to get out of Jame. We've had arch holds, had aggressive B peaks. He even went for that apps peak once in the anti-eco where they ended up winning with pistols because he was caught doubling back through boiler door. He did great grenade damage, but then fell.
He heard footsteps, and then threw the nade.
Yeah,
I think he was almost prepared. If he did get the no scope even, he probably would have been safe.
And I love watching Jame in those situations. Those like high pressured, close up CQC moments. He's such a flashy opper. Sometimes he pulls out, and you know what? It's one of those. It's one of those inverse where it's like I want to see him completely overwhelmed because he is in essence a clutch player. Not only when in a 1v2, but when you have like that 5v1 early moment. Like, there's multiple definitions to clutch, but he always seems so cool.
Yeah, he's always very relaxed. He kind of just hyper threads through the decision trees and knows how much time he has to throw a nade most of the time, exactly how far he needs to fall back. Is so in tune with what he can't see, and I think that's just and that was just off of an audio cue. So a lot to look forward to with him. And this game is just moving along so quickly. We're already at round 10.
Yep.
We've got a tech pause, I think, just to get things back on track.
Coming to a close.
And yeah, we're finally going to get back into the game. So there's a lot more to dig in here, but for me, if eUnited don't end this half with at least 6 rounds, they're probably going to lose Inferno handedly. I feel like Avangar are just going to be so terrifying, so hard to deal with in the next half. But there's a lot to be learned about eUnited, I think, for us as spectators and for them as a team as well.
So let's do it. Deep breath, folks, back into the action, and albeit not the most balanced of rounds. We've got pistols once more for Avangar. Devo close from Kickert. Gonna come up empty-handed. There was support from Team Utility. But eUnited will continue headstrong up Banana and clear out some corners. Rotators now coming off of the A site will head towards B, where very clearly eUnited may end up. But they're playing their options.
Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, I was going to say the CTs don't want to give up a kill here because they'd like to let him in, but it's actually a 5-7. I thought it was just a 1D. That was pretty insane. Buster takes a lot of damage.
This is always that trap where you're still drawn to the B site, and it may still work out, but the CTs have correctly guessed this. eUnited, even though they had a little bit of a pump fake towards A, just continue on. Sanji's going to double over towards Coffins, still on that USP. There is cover coming from Moose, who's going to pop it.
Here's a round where United could have rotated back to A, but they don't seem to be a team that likes to do that. And I actually like a team that, even though they lose a frag, they don't get scared. They just continue onto a site, just stick together, play it slow. I think that's where we see a lot of consistent anti-ecoing teams come from. And I feel like that was really smart. Now, but for Avangar, if they had a couple extra smokes, I think that's a way back into the round to really scare United. The other way is that if they let them into the B site completely, Fitch maybe takes that peek but then falls back totally. His teammates rotate in from cons, they get into position, they wait, and they call out the fact that United are typically going to the same site that they start working towards.
Right. Then
maybe they have a better round there. But there was a previous round where United made presence at top bracket and then went back to B. So I think for Avangar, they are still learning about what eUnited are going to do, what their habits are as well. And when you're playing a new team, I think there's a certain element of, yeah, we want to watch their demos and understand what they want to do. But since you haven't ever played each other, you don't know what they're going to change to try to adapt to your playstyle. And it's not always smart to go in for the full anti-strat. Another full rifle round here. Both teams have been quite good on Banana in spots. But I think every time they go 1-for-1, that favors the United here for picking up these T rounds. But at this moment, they realize that because they're getting squeezed out of Banana a lot of time, just going ahead right for Hall's control. Gotta like that.
And this consistent apartments presence coming off of Moose. He's got Vanity to work with him too in this round. But here comes that big chuck up of smokes. Vanity, quick headshot, and James gonna feel so much pressure, especially since he's blind. We'll have Fitch to help out. We've got eyes over the smoke because Moose, using the railing, has that level of elevation, but the spray from Fitch is just good for one, and the defense does fall. 4-man after plant for eUnited. Looks like they're getting that 6th round you'd look for.
Yeah. So they're starting at a minimum, but not only that, execution was so clean. You could see that Sanji thought, I have at least 2 more seconds before I need to turn.
Right.
And there was a player running into him at that moment. So Vanity comes out of the halls, turns right, and he's on the balcony. You don't typically see that duel happen because the CTs are at least prepared for 1 kill. But because the smokes landed right when he came out, it was so unanticipatory, it was so impossible to anticipate. And I think that's just because eUnited just dry ran that strat properly, and Vanity made sure not to get caught on the doorway, and knew exactly how much time he needed to get out.
Oh, but there will still be some costs added to the invoice. eUnited taking that 1-round lead, but losing 2 members towards the end. So they have 2 survivors still. The end of it, nicely done.
This is really sick. It comes down to that first entry that Vanity gets. And then, from here, he's got his back to a wall.
I was so confused. Like, how did he jump that? All right, it was all reverse. Okay. Sorry. In all my days of Counter-Strike, I'd never seen that.
Yeah, it's so weird to see the reverse watermelon smash.
Yeah. Cooper looking for the op duel. It's there for him. James feeling as if he could explore. Peek off the sidewall. That's Kickert with an opening. And he's going to fall back. Gets around the corner. Food goes with the deep molly to clear corner. Buster had caught them off guard from this position before. Now it's that Opper and James.
Look how they're testing him. I mean, again, very risky, but they don't know that James is there with the op. So I think that it's very huge. It's huge for them that they heard the op shot now.
Right.
They can, from here, decide and play into a mind game for Avangar as to what site James is going to move to.
Yeah, that one audio cue did play into James getting pre-fired here on Banana once before. See, he's gone though. Buster and Kickert, cross Kickert. Had already been tagged up by Vanity, now he's dead. Buster off the fire, gets just deleted.
Man, even though he was blind, he had it lined up perfectly.
Moose
Holy smokes.
hits him with the 180.
You mess with the antlers, right?
Right, got stuck on him.
Oh, wait,
I mean,
you mess
listen,
with the moose, get the antlers?
yeah, I think they're
Mess
antlers.
with the bull, get the horns?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, look, we all know, especially as Canadians, moose are no joke.
No, they're not.
You know,
They're
it's-
actually a very
Right,
dangerous animal.
It's not like if he called himself, you know, like sea turtle, where
Yeah.
you don't have to be intimidated. If you're gonna claim you are moose, it's like saying fire breather.
I think sea turtles might be kind of dangerous, underrated as well.
Think so?
What about like, man, a lot of animals now that I think about that are quite dangerous that don't,
Right.
like bunnies, they've got
Hippopotamus.
teeth. Hippos are actually, I think there's situations where crocodiles are sometimes scared of them. And,
I always-
oh, look at that.
Oh my
That's
God.
insane. At the end of the round, again, a couple of bonus kills that Avangar have been getting. And that's huge.
Eagles.
They come out with 3 this round. They recover 2 ops. 3 guns in total. Those are big pickups.
Yeah, it's 4 deaths at the end of the last 2 rounds. So working against eUnited as they still continue with that momentum, though. Let's not, you know.
Yeah, this is more about
not downright.
Avangar grabbing the guns because eUnited still have so much money to buy.
Yeah, they won 7 of the last 8 rounds. It's
That's
a
big.
4-0 start for Avangar.
So I think the double op setup is just an accident based on the last round, but why wouldn't they keep it? This is a great map for that.
Much faster this time into Banana. They're not even leaving bomb on ramp, which they have before. But also take note, of course, this is a double op setup. We don't have to have James floating towards this B site. We have Buster.
This is nice. Clean banana take. They didn't use too much utility. They're quickly moving out of that spot. Some wallbang damage dealt to Moose in the apartments. He is out of there. Yeah, he has been evicted.
Vanity's like, I'll try my hand at plate. But, yeah, he's gonna take the same plays. Moose comes back in. He's like, listen, guys, I'll keep apps, but I'm gonna need some help here. Vanity, you go first. Vanity's gonna try to. We've got Sanji back behind the cover in pit. James slays him. Easy pickup. And then Kicker catches Cooper. That one was over towards Arch. It is traded, but here comes Sanji. Og for 2, and Moose once more with his head over smoke, trying to clear out the bomb site, which is his for the taking. These CTs back over towards Arch, and eventually Fitch is going to come in from mid. So the longer Moose waits, the less likely he even has a chance to get out of this position.
Yeah, he seems very nervous that there's somebody close. There isn't. That would be a nice way to start this clutch off. You'd assume he'd go and pick up the bomb after that. But they're giving him a lot of respect. I don't think they're aware of how much health he has, and they don't want to be made to look like a fool. They obviously can't afford to lose too many players in the first place, so taking this 3v1 very slowly, and that's a good idea. The Molotov, however, and oh, it looks like the smoke was not quite good enough. James comes out of the corner of it, takes Moose out. Avangar win a very clean round. And I like the variation from eUnited. They threw kind of a new setup where they don't have the invasive smoke that lands on the balcony. Instead, they leave that open. They throw a flash over to assist. So it's a nuance. It's a difference, but it's only a slight difference. And then it's just on James to make sure he hits that op shot so they can't get pick control, and he does do that. Whoa.
Yeah. That run boost was what they used when he went aggressive alt mid peak last time and was caught out by a similar situation. 5 players pushing up mid, this time with guns though. Mitch has opened up Arch side. James got a bit of cover, works the pillar, but Marky, instant headshot. And Sanji has this pit under control. He's dropped bomb. The fire not at his feet. There's his 3rd. And he knows that Vanity was over on Arch, so odds are he's still here. Creeping and crawling his way through the library. Buster's gonna get him. Or not. That op pinned in behind the pillar. Fire's gonna force him out. And this is still Vanity playing. Into the 1v2 now, minute on the clock. If only Mohan, he had more health or even had that bomb.
Yeah, if he had the bomb, you know, maybe. I think if he had the bomb right now, I'd give him a nice 20-30% chance.
What about with an op?
With an op, I think it's even lower. Just, well, without the bomb, that is.
Right.
With the bomb, you know, then 40-50 should be a first free kill. That's a pretty good smoke, but a better angle from Sanji, continuing on this killing spree. 4 kills there, and insane pick control. Now, you saw that because eUnited are doing things by protocol, very clean play. They come up lane expecting this Molotov to be respected, and Sanji stays in the corner of it, which is a very tough pill to swallow for eUnited. You're going to look at the demo and you'll be like, well, what do we do about that? You don't really want to throw 2 mollies there just for that extra little bit of coverage, but now we've got to be aware that someone could abuse that if they're brave enough. And that player today was Sanji, so a good lesson learned from them potentially.
eUnited very concerned with balcony in that last round. You know, look how easy Sanji's frags were. Blindsides 2 of them. Great grenade. versus the force buy of eUnited here in the final round of this first half. Buster pushes past the smoke. He's just going to play on the edge of it. Decides to double back. Doesn't want to overextend. And there's further damage versus Marky. So at this point, eUnited, sure, they're all alive, but they're on shaky legs.
United doing a good job of throwing in variations to the tempo, as well as the strategies, whether it's full executes or pop flashes through smoke. But Sanji continues to lock down Pit. Moose is out at the beginning of the round, and he's been a Hall's lurker at times. I don't know if this will alert them that it's going to be a B play, but Vanity's here to replenish his spot.
It would be cool. Assume they got that one A lurker and then hit him with the bout kit, but nope, it's not going to happen. B falls on its face. Cooper, eagle in hand. No teammate nearby, although Vanity is still racking up some frags. Goes for the repeat. James there to take him. And between Sanji and James, we have 32 kills. Folks, we will be back after a brief break with the second half of Avangar versus eUnited.
Got away, her smile was real but cast astray. Of all the things I can't forget, I held her hand and she let go. The world went and made us old. A picture that burns when you hold it. And now I'm thinking all the things I should have said. And now I'm drinking from the memories laid to rest. Baby, do you want me back? Maybe for one more chance. Baby, don't let it go and fade away. Hold me just one more time. Kiss me like sweet red wine. Let it be more than a memory of the night. Ago, you were the sun when I was cold, the cover of the clouds close behind. I couldn't find the words to say, then I watched you walk away. Here I am caught in the shadow. Now I'm dreaming of the dance we should have had. Music's gonna last.
Avangar starting off Inferno with 4 rounds in a row, sprinkling 1 in the middle and closing with 3. It gives them a lead, but only by 1, Mohan. 8-7 is the half as Avangar switch to the T side.
There's a period of time in North American Counter-Strike where everyone was chastised for making egregious plays, pushes through smokes, flashes, skipping steps in rounds. And we see, I think, eUnited bringing some of that flavor into this game, but using it confidently and getting away with it. Now, I wonder if you put these guys against each other a number of times and a half, how many times that would work? That is a question for me. But here in this best of 1, in their first matchup together, it seems to be the correct strategy. They actually had a great half overall. Avangar do end up leading at the end of it, but it really felt like eUnited were controlling the pace for a bit there.
Yeah.
So now we move into the second half. Again, I think it's going to be a different beast. Avangar play very slowly on the T side, but they move meticulously, they move slowly, and they move in silence a lot. It's going to be very hard and very scary for the CTs to work against this. And stylistically, very different from most of the North American teams.
Yeah, I think eUnited.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, you move in silence, you die in silence.
Hits him with the Cooper Scooper, and we've got that 5v4 right out the gate. Coop's going to move over towards the B site where everyone for Avangar collects themselves. Smokes rain over. Marky's going to go for the blind spam, not making a mark. Cooper doing the exact same thing, so now the bullet's low. And Vanity's going to have to get in a reload. Marky will take one, sure enough. And that man advantage is held on to for eUnited as bomb goes down. But as you can see, utility level completely non-existent.
Oh, if they play like there's no one on Banana, they might have something going for them. Kicker also has got a P250. That could be a big deal, but Marky's too slick with it. 3 kills, 1 through the smoke from construction, and the next 2 wide open for the taking. Nice stuff from eUnited.
Very good. Tying this game up as quick as can be. And early CT momentum. We saw Avangar use it for the 4-0 start. Let's see what eUnited have in store.
I wonder. It's a good question. I think this provides the best half for me personally, where eUnited get the first like little early lead.
Right.
But again, these rounds are going to be slow. They're going to be tumultuous, and Avangar are very, very, very scary. It's almost map independent when it comes to their T side. They've just got the fundamentals down pat. But again, a good start. Kicker goes ahead and buys an AK this round. And he's not going to be the one in Hall, so Sanji will have to play back a bit. He's only got a Glock to be used as somewhat of a scout, and we'll see that the control has been starting to be taken. I don't know if there's nobody else with armor, unfortunately. So Kicker, the biggest threat of the round, goes down nice and early, and this should be a much easier round for eUnited overall.
I see why they picked up Sanji. Guy drops 20 kills in the first half and still drops you an AK. Found with just a Glock and alt.
Get you a man who can do both.
Yep. Bomb's going to work its way towards B. I like that Moose doesn't hyper-aggress. You know, you get those 2 long-range kills with that AUG scope. Walk away.
Would be pretty miraculous stuff if this AK gets any more kills. Wow, did they just...
They gave... Yeah.
Okay, he got rid of the P250. So, it's a bit of a trade.
Passed it to Sanji.
It's good to stand in front of these smokes while they're still up.
That spam as well just confirms to Jame that there is somebody playing close. The trajectory of the grenade tells him that there's a second. So if there's 2 CTs on this site, he knows where they're both at. He's seeming a little cautious for the third. Vanity close smoke. All of that, obviously, audio cues for Vanity. He's got a slight gap to work with, makes the most of it. Takes down Sanji. That AK still in play. James going to be moving up with Buster, who has now fallen. 20 seconds on the clock. 1v4, and that's not the way to do it.
I wonder what gun was better that he wanted to pick up. Maybe he was just low on AK ammo. But yeah, the way he ran in, they might have killed someone in CT. He's just going for the Hail Mary.
Yeah, maybe win the ump. Who knows?
Potentially. 9 rounds here for eUnited. Jame will be back on the op already. Sanji only has a deagle, unfortunately. So he's more and more like Simple every round, Connor.
It's a transformation. Food. Very, very confident rundown Banana with an MP9.
I think they wanted to keep that smoke open a little bit, and they were relying on flashes. So
yeah.
It's kind of a risky play, but you have to. It's very hard to be different on Banana. So plays like that makes sense sometimes. Vanity will go in for the trade. Almost goes ahead and gets the second kill. Buster nearly took a bullet he didn't deserve.
Look, let's be real. Lady Luck blessing that one a bit. Flying headshot on the UMP. But it works. And if it works, run with it. May have Avangar running into the A site. Cooper in transition back towards site. It's Cooper and Moose. I think that's a deadly duo over here towards pit. Marky will hold arch side and fall to the op.
You just won't see a regular peak like that, I think. Especially with a rifle. If there's any chance that there could be an op holding it. Maybe they didn't expect Jame could afford it just yet. But they were wrong. And this push, will it get punished? He's got to have an angle here, right? Yeah. It's nice and passive, but it's exactly what they needed.
Pull everything back towards the B side if needed. 30 seconds on the clock.
Buster doesn't have enough utility to throw a fake, but that might actually be better because the CTs won't hear it.
Cooper and Fitch exchanging damage. Still, bomb has not left A. Finally going to pull itself off.
Yeah, they just used Buster. So I've got 20 HP, let me just go see. They have someone push all the way down Banana, so it's a very high chance that they're overstacking the A site, but in case they're going to go for some weird gamble, let me make sure. And they have enough time to get the plant. So Jame will put that bomb down, and the CTs will most likely save here. It'd be far-fetched to believe they'd win a clutch in this situation, but holding onto the 2 guns could be valuable. So Avangar quickly tie it up at 9-9.
Cooper and Moose alive. Never saw any impact over on this A site.
Yeah, so again, you know, you can't let those,
arch death.
Yeah, you can't let those freebies come.
Right.
You just don't see it's not that we're expecting tier 1 play, but Avangar are the team that are going to be on the cusp of it, as opposed to eUnited, who have a lot more to prove. So they've got to expect that level of discipline from Avangar, and then expect it of themselves in return. I think a rifler peeking these naturally oppable angles is something that you might get away with worse teams, but you can't add up. You can't afford to take on that many punishments. And all it really took was that 5v4 to make things to make it so that everything fell apart. And now that Avangar have won that round, they're in a great spot. But eUnited, they saved 2 guns. They're going to be buying up, but it's to 0. They're going to be low on utility a little bit. It looks like they don't have to sacrifice on guns themselves. Everyone's got what they need. And yeah, maybe it's just Cooper that's a little bit low. So clean anti-eco is nice for them too.
No op in play, of course. That's, I think, what we'd see Cooper holding. Be all right for the time being.
That is a good point. Now, Avangar going to be aware that Cooper will want to op, so their first thing on the menu is, where is he opping? If he's opping, how do we find out without losing a man? And then from there, what site do we pick? Semi-passive setup. They're peeking at mid, not holding on to brackets. Marky up in the treehouse.
Yeah, he takes like one of the most unorthodox angles. He's like, I'm not getting offed again. Yeah, predict this one. Vanity going to join his teammate on the high road. Smoke close, but here comes Avangar. They're going to catch him with timing. They weren't ready for it, but Vanity could still trade this out. It's Sanji up next. Damage exchanged, and good job by Vanity to at least take 2. That 3-man retake with 2 kits included.
Oh, dude. Love that they didn't just automatically smoke CT spawn. They really just wanted to post up immediately. And I think it's because they got that info. That was some quick communication coming out from Avangar. Very smart stuff. And look, they can't even threaten the retake now. Just the arm of Marky sticking out.
Just blows his arm off.
Wow, that was nice. That was nice. It's a small touch, but it's a quick adjustment.
Yeah.
Because naturally you think, all right, we get the kills, we smoke CT spawn. And once they had the info on both players, they're like, screw it, James, let me have line of sight here. No one can come in for the retake. And if the smoke went down, CTs could have gone all the way up to con. We could see a retake taking place right now. And instead, that won't happen. So CTs look like they found a pretty good save location. They'll recycle these guns. That's only going to be valuable for so long, however. Now, this round, in fact, they don't have enough for any more rifles. So they've got a big decision to make. It'll be an interesting eco round. They can decide if they want to overstack a site, play 2 AUGs in one place, play aggressive with those AUGs, which you'd actually hope they do, or if they would like to have those split up. Yeah, it was really, actually, it's such an acute angle that James had to hit there.
Split the hair on that one.
Yeah.
James posted, anticipating some hyper-aggression, and sure enough, eUnited feeding themselves to the bottom of mid.
Is that their own? Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay.
Cooper's going to open up. That's one of the 2 saved AUGs, so AUG is trying to lay down cover for the pistol players close, but Cooper's fallen. James able to get the best of him in the apps. Oh, and then another couple kills. Even with Food trying to push through smoke, it's not going to result in anything other than that 1 kill from Cooper. Vanity picks up the AUG. What's he going to do with it? No one should present themselves, and Avangar still have more than a minute to play with.
Yeah, that was nice. The kills came their way. It seemed like there was a fair bit of control there for the CTs. It gets really scary when you can't see mid. If you come up alt, you kind of just have to wait, right? Yeah. There's no way to get back to mid unless you go through the underpass from alt. But from there, you've got to be worried because the CTs have halls control. They can come out and peek halls whenever they want. And again, that's just something that has to be respected. So Avangar do sit and wait. They get the kills, they get the bomb site, and they plant the bomb.
Curious to see if we get more of these super aggressive rounds out of eUnited, even once the lead starts to go to Avangar. Cause that's the thing, it makes you start naturally playing more reserved. But that was one of the pieces I wanted to praise for eUnited was some of the more confident, aggressive styles we saw on their T side.
Yeah,
you can transition that over, but obviously it's a challenge, and you'll have your hands full with Avangar. Individually speaking, Avangar taking the cake.
The thing is, like, I don't know. If you're going to play aggressive on CT side, I think it works. It can work, but Avangar in particular are so good at being ready for that.
Because they play the counter.
That's what they love.
Exactly.
They love waiting until 30 seconds. So if you give them kills early, they've talked about it. They know exactly how to lay those traps, be patient. They don't get scared, and I think that will be a problem because I feel like aggression is always more volatile than a defensive playstyle. just for consistent results.
True.
You know, if you err on the side of boring in some sense, if you want to call it that, then you're probably going to be a harder team to beat, just because you're more careful. And I liked a lot what Art said about it, because he plays on Furia, he's called for Furia, and he said that, I was like, dude, you guys play so slow, but you're always working on something. And he said, that's the most fun way to play the game. And I think that's an awesome attitude to have, and I feel like that's the same kind of philosophy that Avangar have adopted.
They do lose a member early, though. Buster caught out by the fire at the bottom of mid, so good utility usage out of eUnited. How passive do they get off the 5v4? You think that man advantage is just going to transition into the round win.
Yeah.
But Avangar, like we talked about, you know, when you play slowly like this, not only are you prepared for hyper aggression, but I feel like you're also more prepared in these 4v5s.
Definitely. See, they're not cutting corners. They're not getting overly scared, peeking stuff one at a time, and losing the round flat out. In fact, if they do a good bit of damage here, it'll count for a lot, even if they don't win the round. So they're making sure to play that advantages. Also, you see, naturally, as a CT, you run low on utility, you can't stay out and be as aggressive as you want to. So simply waiting can actually pull CTs back into spots, out of the sites, out of banana, and you don't have to use utility to reclaim that. And now they can clear stuff out without worrying about any of that. And although it is 5v4, you've got 2 CTs in the B site, so there's no overstack. And so this site could be the same to take. However, a nice peek from Cooper, and finally that'll activate the smoke.
Another one comes over the top. Kicker is going to double back. Draws out the spam. Bombs by his side. Last member in Sanji's coming to join them. We're talking 15 seconds. This is not a good look for them, but Diamond's made under pressure. Cooper still patient, and this is it. They call it off. They couldn't find that opening despite throwing bodies at the B site.
Dude, that was awesome. As much as I praise the fact that Avangar slowed it down in the 4v5 and worked on things that didn't cut corners, eUnited have every right in the world to go in a 5v4 and fall back and be a bit more passive. And then from there, every single one of their kills, they made sure to have someone to flash to assist. They didn't have to leave the site because they were having Cooper, you know, spot incrementally from coffins, and one of those peaks was rewarded. So ultimately, you're going to have to hit shots, but he does do that. And then, again, minimal losses. So Avangar slowed down, but they don't get anything for it. Now, it's 10 rounds for eUnited to the 11 of Avangar, but it's looking fairly good.
Whoa.
And Buster, wow. Oh, they'll have to use 2 smokes on that, and he takes way more damage than they would have liked. It seemed like he called for a smoke, but his teammates maybe had a gun out and couldn't throw it in time. So that's a bit of a flub. Now, you do need less utility on the T side to win a round, but this will change the odds, at least slightly, I feel like. Oh. Top banana gets taken one more time. CT side is relatively passive. They haven't recovered an op this round, or that last round. They haven't upgraded either.
Food just inching his way closer to the corner. You know, Avangar may think that this is completely given up, but Food gets back behind sandbags, and he's dropped by Sanji. Now Vanity's gonna come in, swings for the fences, and gets himself 2 headshots, redeploys the smoke, and knows that Bomb is right there with it. That's a huge recovery from Vanity.
You gotta love that from Vanity. He's been so good at being a site anchor, especially when his teammate dies, just coming in for multiple kills at once. Again, no trade in sight. He's down to half HP, but that's more than enough.
Ooh.
Okay.
What's going on, James? You good, bro?
Gotta get his ADR in somehow.
Yeah. I said rotate A. Sure enough, they'll hit it. Moose just hiding in the graveyard. That's like a bull in a china shop. Spray down for Marky, activates Moose, dropping the bomb, and once more, Avangar gonna play to the final 10 seconds and come up empty-handed.
Yeah, they get nothing for it. Again, important stat line. The early 5v4 for eUnited once again, and then them just transitioning that into a round win, but also a very clean round win. They're controlling the pace, doing a great job. A2Z, Armin the Dream, handing out the dabs. Keep the morale high.
Pass it around. This was a big one. I thought for a moment as well, maybe the player back on wood was gonna get that trade eventually, but nope. 2 kills for free. Marky gets a double of his own, and we're gonna have Avangar back in with a force buy. CZ for Fitch, no utility, bare bones coming out of Avangar. They do have that op on Jame, and we know it can be instrumental.
Absolutely, if they win. Smoke goes out early into halls. Waiting for some kind of pop flash timing execute. They're playing it very far back. I think anticipating that it may be an anti-eco, and if not, just making sure they're safe. This does reward Avangar with a lot of control, so they could read into this. Cooper looks like he might take first contact in this situation, and it seems like they've got their eyes on Archway.
Down the Molotov, and no one's going to run through. Everybody's just going to chill, buys time for the rotator.
Moose got really hurt there on the hall somehow. But this has attracted the attention of 4 CTs.
Yeah, Cooper trying to keep his head on a swivel. Luckily had Vanity to keep his blind side closed. Avangar to the 35-second mark. Bomb and Apps falls back. They could redirect into B. And they really love these late rotations.
Yeah, they do. They don't have any utility, so they're just hoping on the fact that they have attracted the CTs and that the CT leftover doesn't have anything to throw. Vanity's going to have to switch if he wants to throw the molly, but it doesn't seem like he's going to do it just yet.
Oh, 2, not a third. Nope, Kicker's going to trade that back. But again, Vanity throwing himself into a situation where his multi-frag is so important. It keeps up that man advantage. Poor utility for the retake. 2 flashbangs, that's it. But at least it's that pronged assault. They're going to have Banana in the mix.
That's a solid setup. My God. If they see James, even if he gets a kill in especially, no way they're going to assume Kickert is there. This could get very hairy. Op shot goes off. CT crosses.
Oh, damn.
They're not going to expect this, though. Kickert's going to come in for the flank. Steal a chance.
Yeah, there it is. He's revealed, sure enough. There is a player on the bomb. Defuse comes through, not an issue. Moose prioritizes the bomb. We had Cooper to give cover.
Don't
Big kill
leave
by
him
Cooper.
Hanging, dude. Yes!
We got it.
All right.
But huge frag from Cooper there, Mohan.
That was big, man.
Yeah, had to drop James.
Yeah, if James stays up, they have no easy way to kill him. I think they were very low on utility as well. The rotation was fast, though, and you got to hand it to Vanity. He gets 2 once again. You can't blame eUnited for playing 4A. They had the correct reads. Avangar just made a very late, hasty rotation back to B, and it was because they had a lot less to lose. Now Cooper comes out for the early 5v4 once again. This is looking hot for eUnited. Another successful rifle round potentially, and they have been very good at closing these rounds. But not only that, closing them with high numbers.
Yep. Keeping that longevity possible. Tries to play with it. Baits out the shot. What's the response? Avangar go get bomb. We actually just got the Opper peeled off of the B site. So he fires 1 bullet and heads on to Arch instead, hoping that they redirect. But Avangar, they want some.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of raw gunfights here. Only 1 smoke left over for eUnited.
Minute left.
Yeah, a lot of time left over. Let's see if they call this out.
Marky's going to go for the flash food. Oh, he gets cleared out by Buster. So Marky, instead of going for a supportive flashbang, just has to underhand it himself. Sanchi's going to play close corner. Bomb not yet on site, but 3 of eUnited's players are here on B. They're cut off by the smoke, so they don't have that info. Yeah. Sanji's Molotov, that's going to confirm the plant.
This is interesting. Fitch and Moose are playing so slowly at A. They're still on the other side of the map. I don't know if Fitch heard this, but he knows that his teammates don't have to worry about B, which is huge.
Oh, Fitch might get caught out by Moose. Moose, does he hear this? No. He hasn't. Fitch has timed it perfectly. And Buster's just drawing all the attention back into the bomb site. Desperation sinking in for eUnited as they work their way forward. It's only Marky, and he's going to get wrecked by James. Up close. Goodbye. Avangar to tie it 12.
Nice round, man. They moved so quickly. They had a read on eUnited. I actually don't know why eUnited were so low on utility. That was one question that I had. I mean, they even had won the round, so maybe no excuse to throw all those pieces of utility so early. And if that is going to be a flaw in their game, then Avangar can continue to work B quickly. I would, in fact, just try it again to see if that's going to be the play for eUnited, but we know that they like to make sure that there isn't going to be some kind of push early on, so we'll see. Banana control gets established. Minute 40 on the clock, kicker to the half wall. Jay moves up as well, and they've cleared out top Banana. I would be very tempted to work this exact same play again.
That slow B take.
Yeah.
Bait out the utility, etc. Oh, Molotov sends him scrambling.
And that was smart. He took extra damage, but he wasn't left alone. He made sure to get back with his teammates, so they survived with all players. Limited information gain from eUnited. And one more big piece of utility baited out.
Buster's going to lead the charge. Vanity swapping back to the guns. Good flashbang. Food lines him up, and that MP9. Oh my god! All of the collateral damage, but no kills. It's Kicker with a double, Fitch with a single frag, and all 5 of Avangar are still standing. How did they get away with that?
They worked it again. They got top banana. They worked in between a smoke. They were the worst guns, actually, from eUnited on banana as well, which I thought was interesting because I would be so fearful of another B take, but they seemed confident in holding from that spot. They didn't overstack as well for having such limited information. I think the one play that eUnited thought the round was contingent on was reclaiming top banana as soon as they thought Avangar took it. But Avangar did a good play. I think Jame ran through a molly for 30 damage just to get away from the thought that they might reclaim it. And that was the correct play, it seemed. He stays alive with just 20 HP remaining. And once they're, again, working into the site, they're going quickly. They're doing just fine. So there are these gaps where eUnited are having trouble figuring out when to use what utility, and Avangar are abusing that over and over again. Honestly, I would just do it again.
Run it back?
Run it back.
Run it till the game's done. It's a good chance they pull it off.
Yeah, this will be one of the last situations for eUnited to put together a buy next round. They've got 2 guns recovered or saved from the A site. The last time that this happened, the play was for eUnited to run down mid. They could try it again. I think they actually got quite close on that kind of anti-eco, but it might be a bit obvious considering this is the precise situation. The 2 players at A save their guns. We move into the next round. I don't think Avangar are going to expect eUnited to buy, and so eUnited will probably try to play back as they normally do. I mean, the first 20 seconds of all of their rounds look almost identical. You never see them just like barrel up banana together or run up to top mid through a smoke. Again, minute 40, they're throwing their usual grenades. Buster this time is going to be leading the charge.
Yeah, different setup though for eUnited. They're going to have that deep commitment from Food. Trying to work these pistols, play off the disadvantage. Are both of our rifles on? No. We've got the Yogs split currently. Moose over here in the ass. Oh man, gets the chance at dropping Jame, but can't finish the kill. And then you have to ask yourself, how long do you wait?
Uh-oh, he's got
stuck
behind him, yeah.
Oh, just gets wrecked by Sanji. That's one of the Yogs down. Food picks it up, and it is chucked to the wayside once more. Cooper's just like, please, where's that Og? But he can't get his paws on it. Vanity 1v5 unarmored Deagle. I don't think so.
Maybe some Dignity Deags. Does
Yeah.
get the body shot kill and grabs the AK. Try to turn tail, but no armor means that he'll lose that duel to Fitch. And another clean round. Avangar on the cusp of victory. Round 27, they're up 14-12. They have this wide open path into B. I think mentally speaking, they feel very confident about taking it. I don't see why they shouldn't try it again. They were so successful, and eUnited are going to try to stave off of this match point. So they're buying a little bit early here. They've got the MP9s. They've got 2 SMGs. They've only got a single AUG, not an AUG for Cooper. And on the plus side, though, they have a lot of utility, which I think was a big problem for them.
Oh, fire forces Food down lane. Sprays into the grenade. Does still survive until Kicker gets the best of him, but Jane burns to a crisp. Food cooks him well. There's still close proximity. They might not expect Vanity to be also this close to them. Marky's trying to just pump his chest, draw the attention inwards, but can he do it? Yeah, 2 back for Marky. Keeps the man advantage up on eUnited, and Launders, that was just SMGs out of eUnited. Again, mitigating the distance so well.
Yeah. Problem is they still only got 2 SMGs, and Marky, they're just following up on this, and he's very low. Got a good angle, though. Oh, there was a chance. But again, Fitch had a huge advantage with all the health and a better gun. Now the smoke goes down, the rotates will come out, but you would expect Avangar going to be able to close out this 2v2.
We've had Cooper and Moose transition into the save at A site because of situations like this, but we're getting to the score where they've got to try it. They're just going to have to throw this. They have the 2 smokes and a double flashbang for their retake. Kit is on Moose coming in off of Banana. Sanji's going to play deep corners just like Fitch. They're welcoming them in. Not going to challenge, but Moose just executes Sanji. It falls onto the shoulders of Fitch. He's not going to go for the peek just yet. Bomb tap could force his hand. He sprays versus Cooper, but it's there. Moose jumps on Bomb, and eUnited continue on. 14-13.
Wow, I thought for sure Avangar had that locked up. eUnited go for the retake because number one, the 2 players on A site got into retake positions much more quickly. And also because the B hold was much better. So in previous situations, they had to save because it was like 2 entries in a B, no answer back. Vanity gets 2 kills very late, but then gets traded out. And then the rotates are so delayed. But in this situation, they have enough time to get in. Not more than enough, but just enough. And that makes things quite competitive. A round United absolutely had to win. They pull it out. And now we're in a very tight game. Now, one thing I do like is United, for once, try going to the bottom of Banana, especially after that string of rounds where they just lost top Banana and lost the site.
Right.
So this is the perfect response, and I like that they found a new way to try to approach the problem that they've been having.
It worked out really well in the previous round. Again, we saw those 3 SMGs set up shop. This time, much less of a resistance from Avangar as they initially get down there, but then just lose 0 time on rotating back towards A. We've got 2 CTs still in their spawn. And we've got Moose uncomfortable in the pit, fire at his feet, and Cooper by his side. Terrorists haven't worked past yet, but he's down. Sanji gets him from above. Vanity's going to try to skewer the mid player and hits it. The headshot's his. Cooper comes in now. And as he's dropped Bomb, everything's going wrong for Avangar, except for the kill from Kickert. It keeps it even for just a moment. And Buster's yet to find impact. He's watching flank, he's got it. But they don't have that bomb.
Yeah. And they are both spotted. As you can see, Sanji's so low with his last known hauls. This will not be an easy round for Avangar to win. High potential for 14-14. 30 seconds up.
Oh, the boost. Dude, this enables Buster to just...
Yeah, the problem is Cooper's just got such a good spot. He doesn't have to do too much.
It's good enough for some chip damage. 15 seconds. They're going to have to hit this. They just need instantaneous kills. But it's Vanity to get the first one. Buster comes in and he's caught on the wheels. He's stuck in the smoke. It all goes wrong as eUnited tie this up again. 14 rounds apiece, Mohan. Anybody's match at this point.
Dude, that was tight. I like that maybe they assumed Avangar were going to go hard on Banana, try to reclaim it from the bottom of Banana, maybe get in their face. But then eUnited play very fundamentally sound. They get the smoke down Banana, they get 1 person there, and they rotate out early. So they had 4 at A the whole time. I thought it was a good play for Avangar to try to go A. I thought they would expect eUnited to be more scared of their B hold and would play A light for a little bit of the rounds. Once again, eUnited going for that bottom Banana control. They've got 3 here this time. Avangar are going to be working to top mid a little bit more slowly. Arch is obviously the spot that gets smoked out more often, so either it doesn't and they can use this bait setup, or they can basically work into these frags. But Avangar going to be patient. It was a seek from Kicker. They're slightly impoverished. They've only got a P250 on him, and they're low on grenades. They won't have all the options in the world. Advantage here at eUnited.
Oh, you feel for Vanity. I mean, he's been lights out in terms of an individual level. But he's also one individual at B, and I guess that's still going to count for something. Gets an instant headshot. Not left alone. James still going to linger here, as we have 3 of Avangar's members setting up for mid. eUnited do a good job of getting themselves out of Cubby. Sure, that's map control back in the hands of Avangar, but it doesn't cost them a life. eUnited up 5v4, a re-aggression from Vanity. Food's flashbang. Excellent help, but he blinds himself. And that's not going to help Food at all. He fully retreats back towards Coffins, and we've got Avangar trying to get into the B site with Bomb on its own. Oh, he's just puffing his chest. It's a fake. They are going to head to A. There is still enough time, but it falls on Marky. Wide peak and substantial damage versus Sanji. An opening for the bomb carrier to get onto site. It's here.
Yeah, they got no grenades.
Ooh,
oh, whoa.
Wow.
That was so close.
Moose almost catches him from behind. So with 10 seconds to spare, that bomb is going to go down, but it's not in the best of after plans. However, Sanji's still up. Puts James into the clutch. It's James versus Cooper for 15 rounds. He peeks wide and he's got it. Avangar finally getting that 15th on the board.
Oh my God. Does that all happen because Vanity blinded himself on top B?
Dude, it could have.
Dude.
Very well could have. What
I mean,
a killer rotation back.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, they actually get up onto the site. Marky goes above and beyond. The one MP9 kill and then a dink as well. He couldn't have set his team up better, especially being solo there. You can't, again, blame eUnited for rotating out to be in that situation, considering they lost their player at top banana. But Vanity got a kill, a very important one, and then went for another one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the self flash. That's just the roughest part.
But I mean, you know, you're feeling yourself. At this point, we have Vanity topping the board for eUnited, 26 kills. So he's confident on the repeat, and he screws himself over.
Damn,
Shoots
dude.
himself in the foot.
Round
And then, yo, tip of the hat, Sanji, such low HP trying to cover that bomb carrier on the site. And he gets himself not just the arch player, but then anticipates that quick flank up from lane.
And if he had more bullets, maybe he gets all three. He actually just ran out of ammo and was still peaked. Yeah, very good point.
What a killer 29th round, but it's not over yet. eUnited not in the best of spots, bouncing back from that round loss. We have a scout, an ump, and 3 CZs. The utility's there, but not the chances.
So let's see a dry read here for eUnited. Overstacked in the B, 4 players dedicated to the site. They're not making any noise. They've cut noise completely. They want to try to lure everybody in here if possible. There's only Cooper again on the A site, roaming, patrolling from position to position. Is there going to be a regression on banana? It looks like, yeah, nades go both ways, and Buster goes out first.
Ooh, they line up. There's actually a bit of team damage in the mix there.
Yeah, could count for something.
Let's see. Let's see if it comes back to bite them. Avangar may very well be walking into the trap.
That was nice. Marky lined up that re-smoke in the smoke. Avangar don't typically get scared here, but it is round 30.
Ooh, and the flash comes through. Vanity with another double! Great flash from Moose, and here comes Marky. It looks like overtime with just Jane left up. He's down for the count. eUnited, they survived the test.
That is one way to make up for it.
Let's go. I love that when they didn't feel the pressure committed to the B site, they thought to themselves, like, do we run back through spawn to try and get onto A, or do we just chase them? They go for the chase. They are rewarded. And eUnited will push this to overtime.
That was huge for a number of reasons. Now, the game isn't over, and the thing is that if you're Avangar, you're worried because the eUnited CT side got progressively better. They did have a bit of a flub in that previous round, but the CT side overall cleaned up a bit. They're doing good about not giving respect to Avangar when they go for banana control, holding on to it at bottom banana, and even low on guns now winning rounds. But overall, there was just so many things that went well for eUnited on that eco. I like that. You know, Marky threw the smoke at the perfect time. They re-aggressed through that set smoke, and they got that twice.
So let's go. Immediately, eUnited, they're going to make the most of the overtime economy. We've got a double op setup in the first round of OT. Oh, just doubling up on the grenades.
Huge. 100 damage dealt.
Artillery barrage is going to shell shock Avangar to the start of this one, but they're going to play it cool. They will play cool, leaving bomb back on spawn and just feeling them out. They've got their hands full with eUnited, Vanity most notably.
Food's off the angle, does take the blind shot. Onto the site. Avangar taking a bit more time to take top banana, but they still do it. A good flash, but Cooper takes his blind shot and takes out Sanji with it. 4 to 5. Utility very low for the offense. And they've got an angle to flash. They've got one flash for this, and they aren't going to use it. Oh, easy kill.
These ops paying off, but Vanity's down. Marquis swings wide from smoke. He's going to put pressure on Food, but he's fine. He's got cover back by Nubox. James just going to come creeping in close, though. Oh, there's a good chance for James to at least get this one, and now that gives him positioning. He's got 20 seconds to play with, and the cover of the smoke will fade, but no peek from Coffin.
Oh, they're respecting it, assuming it's going to be a fake.
Damn.
And they don't move in. This is the kind of situation James lights up the server in.
We talk about how he is cerebral. Cooper's close on the Coffins with that op. He knows now, trajectory of the grenades. He knows exactly where they're at, but he needs to find the 1v1s, and he has taken the first. Oh, James, waiting for the Coffin peak, but now he knows he's off CT. Moose has to close this distance, but the time's not really there for him. Oh my, there's the shot. James got one more chance!
Oh my God!
Just one more chance!
Oh my God!
And it's all he needs, Mo.
That is unreal. What kind of composure is that? Crazy, dude.
Yo, he's being pelted into the corner.
Dude, you love how creative he was in that 1v2 with the positioning he had, always exposing himself to an angle that he saw he could be comfortable in. I mean, he went out for Cooper. Cooper thought he's going to let me come all the way into emo, he's going to take this passive shot, but then Moose is going to trade. Instead, James realizes that. He's like, I've got to take a risk, and he knows exactly how much leash he has.
Man, talk about how we've gotten into the real nitty-gritty with like the last 5 rounds of regulation and now into overtime. You know, this map, no matter who picks it up, has very much come down to the swing rounds, the clutches, the close ones. Double off once more for eUnited, but opening round again is Avangar's.
Yeah, but we saw what the rate of success was for eUnited when they didn't hold on to banana control was very low. And when they did, they won almost every single round. Here, they give it up. So we'll see if it's a stat that follows.
Who's going to go for that utility? He's nullified by the smoke and has no teammates to help him at all. I mean, we're looking at 10 players up in a retake.
Yeah, they didn't hold on to it at all. They're standing behind a smoke. They've got no one here to get the fan damage in. There's no flash for Vanity to come in and get 2 kills.
You just hit it on the head. You talked about that banana control and how without it, eUnited fall on this B site. They haven't fallen, but the bomb site sure did. We're gonna have some utility to try and make those committed backside players uncomfortable, but now the kills are gonna start to come in. Oh my, and are they ever? 3 frags immediately. James now known to be over here on banana, but there's a defuse from Food, and that late rotate from Kickert is not gonna pay off. This game stays tied.
Okay, not bad. Yeah, Avangar actually were so low on utility. They only had 1 player with any, I don't even think he had a smoke. He had like an HE and a flash in the 5v5.
Yeah.
So United played it slow. They were ready for the retake though. So another way that they have to win around that beat. Didn't see that coming at all.
No, we didn't see it at all during the first, 30 rounds.
They've never tried that. So that's cool that they have that in their back pocket now as well. A CT round goes the way of United.
And you pull it out in OT.
Yeah, it's past regulation.
That's a quick one. Food just gets dumpstered on his banana peak. Good grenade damage back. Kickert's lost half. But it's eUnited who have lost a man.
Good that Cooper is going to try to go aggressive. Needs to find an opening if possible. Oh, misses an important shot. There's no one in Boiler to capitalize. That was the risk he ran. But there was no one there. Now, kind of a different round. They've got some info on B. And so they're going to go ahead and overstack it. I don't know if Avangar can make a late round rotate, but they worked on things so quickly. They've got a minute 10 to decide if they actually want to commit to this site.
Oh, aggressive peek from Vanity, and then another from Marky. It's the left-right. Marky actually gets him with a Molotov. That's nice. Burn out that close one, and anybody stuck in this no man's land has to commit to the duel.
Damage goes both ways at A. Trying to keep those options open. They have to judge where the CTs are going to rotate off of this. They don't know if it's 1 and B or 2.
Deep utility. Moose blinded and smoked off. Vanity committed to the corner. And yes, Fish, he's going to clear that one first. Oh, and a second. Shoots through the coffin and just puts Moose in it. 3 up for Avangar here, looking to close out their T side with 2 of 3 rounds. Cooper, he's still so wary of Sanji over towards that A site. We talked about the late damage going back and forth, but he doesn't realize that threat no longer exists.
He came in so late, too. Yeah.
Done. There you have it. Avangar, 2 T rounds in overtime.
Pretty nasty. Both teams working hard here. You'll love to see it. Really fantastic stuff. Tons of variation on just the banana control alone, which is awesome. And if they're, both teams are now feeling each other out. They've got a good read. I think this is the first time they played against each other, definitely with this lineup. And it seems like they're both taking steps to adapt accordingly. 1 round the difference. It's not over. Obviously, for new viewers, for regulation for OT, 3 rounds on one half, 3 rounds on the other. If a team gets 4 rounds, the game's over.
Yep.
And if it's 3-3, we move on to OT number 2. Avangar had they had like a decent CT side, but they only got 8 rounds.
And remember, it was a 4-0 start, and they closed with the last 3. So only 1 actual gun round kind of sprinkled in the middle. It's been a while since we saw eUnited on that T side, but remember, for the majority of it, they were in control. It was certainly convincing. So we're back. And a fresh-faced Avangar to the CT side. Exchange of grenades going down here on Arch.
Let's see if there's no reaction. The burst to top mid is going to scare the CTs, but the whole time, Buster's got bottom B control, so the CTs can be confident.
Careful with that bomb. You would hate to lose it on Arch side. He does throw it back, but then he's thrown himself into the wolves. CT's going to get aggressive, so it seemed. They'll throw the flash first.
That was a cute way to rotate.
Now what, Bard?
Oh, damn. That's nasty.
Kicker cleared, and Fitch falls next. Now the counter-terrorists on site are really going to feel the heat. They are desperate for Buster to come up from mid, but the bomb can actually evacuate through the Arch if it wants to. It's going to fall right back into the mid player, and Vanity bests him.
Damn, bro. That's crazy.
eUnited tied at 17.
They worked into the wrong site. They got every single kill. They stayed together, and they made sure to move quickly.
Right.
Credit to Marky for getting both players on Arch. And the second one, I think Fitch had no idea that he could have pushed up against the wall. Yeah.
So first to 19. 18 secures double OT. We want the sweet 19.
Hard to tell who's going to win now.
This is so 50-50.
Avangar have a lot to prove. As you mentioned, important stat line. The fact that the first half was so close, but there wasn't a lot of meaty rounds that Avangar won. They've still got stuff to prove. Whereas eUnited have really ran the gauntlet, losing the pistol.
Oh, great flash again. Yo, how many times now have we seen victories for eUnited on Banana because of flash assists? Whether that be with just the pistols on the push, or here in the rifle rounds too. eUnited 5v4 and all the options in the world, but Sanji can throw a wrench into the works. He has this abs control. How far does he go? What does he find? A kill versus Vanity could be huge. But Vanity's ready, and he's gonna get the best of it. Scoped rifles, pulls that rotator back in. James gonna have to defend the A site. And maybe Vanity just throws himself here, commits to the cause, gets the info.
It's like a blessing and a curse that they're stuck in Banana B because they can't rotate. Oh, but yeah, Vanity goes. Oh,
36th
damn,
frag. 36th frag is nasty.
Wow. Okay.
Shooting for a 40 bomb.
That's an open site. Very smart stuff. eUnited have been very careful about when they rotate back. They sometimes will just full commit to a site, delay commit to a site, but almost never run back. And there, they made sure to 4-1 and scout the information so that they were making an informed rotate as opposed to a gamble.
Not gonna get the best of Fitch, however.
This is insane. They're actually, you know, in proper position to win the next round.
Yep.
There's enough money, obviously, for Avangar. Was this 16K to start?
Yes.
I should have known that. Yeah, it looks like it. So.
MR316.
Chance to pounce, but they're on pretty equal footing. I think these kills literally don't matter. But it's fun to see them work hard for exit frags. Potentially the last round of the game.
This would be a big opener. BO1 winners, you know, remember at DreamHack Opens, if you win your first opening game, then you get a BO1 later today to get right into playoffs. Day 2 is a break for you. And that would be huge. Huge for a team like eUnited.
Huge with a Y.
Real big. Just like this push to Banana, Avangar, they want that heavy presence. A flub grenade won't help, but could have been far worse.
Seen a couple of glimpses of regulation from eUnited as last round they popped to top mid, take control of it quickly. They've worked Banana in a similar way where, again, off of a flash assist, have gotten the early 5v4. It's been a big stat line in their favor, I want to say. Especially for that comeback after the first 4 rounds. But this time, Kicker gets the best of 2.
Yeah.
Food and Marky.
Nice. That's going to leave eUnited just strapped at the bottom of mid. And they had nothing. At the beginning of this, you had Vanity working out from Boiler inside of his own smoke and one from Avangar. He had that full bracket control. James was relaxed back by pit with Sanji, just waiting for some kind of commitment. But because Vanity saw nothing, he doesn't know. So they'll transition right into the B hit in a 3 versus 5. It's one thing to expect eUnited to get this win, another off of a round like this. But they do get the best of that smoke gap. Bomb carrier able to cross, and all of the damage so far has actually been softening up Avangar.
Oh yeah.
This is a strong 3v5. They've got a Molotov in the post plant with 3 flashes. That's it.
Rotates are late. Low on utility, though. They got to rely on these flashes.
Oh, man. Moose with a killer angle. And nobody's going to challenge him from CT. So there you go. They cut down the numbers by 1. Buster's able to respond, but here comes Cooper. That opts over on Banana, and with no smoke grenade to cut him off, he's going to have vision. Cooper is looking to do this with Moose in the back of the site. We talk about these two, the heavy hitters for eUnited, and with Vanity by their side, they could still close it. Cooper misses his shot, and it's all on Sanji. Tied at 18. It's double OT or not. The bomb's defused. So close.
Oh my God. Down to the wire. Insane.
So close.
I can't think of a game that's more deserving of a second OT, just considering how close the actual rounds are. If you contextualize all of them, it is so hard to see who should be in the lead, if there is a way to say should. This is a pretty intense match so far, and the crowd is loving it.
We don't even have Brazilians on stage
Not yet, yeah.
Oh my.
I know, yeah. Our photographer, Alex, said he was out in the crowd, and he couldn't tell who the crowd was cheering for more. I think it's clear now, though.
Yeah, I think Avangar's got an edge. I need to breathe, dude. I thought that defuse wasn't going to come through. I was looking for the explosive eUnited finish. Remember,
Dude.
Avangar, they're the highest ranked team here at DreamHack Open Rio.
Cooper was a centimeter off.
Dude,
he gets that kill, the round's over.
Yep. It's literally that shot, you know, and sure, he opened it up with some.
Oh yeah, they did good.
But
you know.
it was the shots that mattered most, almost. Those final ones. Now,
The
we're into
5v4. Kicker, good round already. Last round he got 2. The round before that, he lost. He got killed by either Vanity or Food, then they lost Beat, then they lost the round. Yeah, and these 5v4s have been meaningful, and that's a really good sign for these teams.
Nice.
Oh, but that's a great way to answer back. A very safe peek from Vanity, calls out James' position, an important player off the map, and there are 2 players dedicated to A in great spots, but with this Hall setup, you might think they're going to be ready. Their Hall spots are pretty vicious, man.
Yeah,
they get in the
close.
pit.
Sanji's looking down. Does get the best of Vanity, but it forces his feet down into the pit as well. So they've lost the actual balcony, and then amidst the flashbangs, Food will best him. But do they know? Pitch is still back here, and now he's gone. Moose takes control of it, and the A site falls to eUnited, who come into this with a quick 3v2.
Honestly, we're getting to the point where it'd be such a travesty if United lost because of how well they're playing and adapting to some of these situations. This is going to be a nearly impossible retake, but Buster gets the pit player down.
Not going to miss that one. Cooper rekindles it, and whoa, he will finish it too. There was definitely time for a defuse. That's another crazy 1v1. That's like the third clutch round we've had here in overtimes.
Man, the flash to pit was so precise. Food peeks the truck just as that flash pops, and we couldn't see it from the player who turned around because he dodged it, but the second player in pit was totally blind. So that meant the flash was amazing, it was well-timed, and it forced the player, even though he wasn't blind, to turn around, just totally displace his aim. They keep stuff like that up. I mean, they've just got so many options. James knowing that they're going to go for that. Oh my goodness, the flash over alt as well. Moose comes off of this after image flash, immediately it hits the headshot.
Yeah, sometimes Moose is just too cool. Welcomes the challenge and shuts it down.
Good play, but better response. Another 5v4 for eUnited. Last round, it was a 5v4. They lost a kill, and then they lost the round. Buster's gonna flank, but it's 1 kill back in the favor of eUnited, 4v3. But what does this tell eUnited? They know that Avangar were so confident that it was gonna be A. They pushed all the way down to the bottom of Banana. In fact, they thought Execu was gonna come out early. Buster probably could have delayed a little bit there, but does that mean eUnited are gonna turn back?
Pitch, good readjustment, good commitment. He almost cleans up with 3. In fact, he does put this back into an even situation.
This is interesting. I mean, they've got lots of time to work with, but they seem committed.
Molotov to Sanji, forces his feet away. Kicker's gonna play this one closer, gets into the corner. Sanji's now swinging, wants to pull that attention away, and he's dropped the bomb. Oh, Moose is gonna get pinched. Moose down, he's out. Sanji, 2 kills from pit and ties it up at 19.
Damn, that was a close call. I mean, United had they took the most resistant path to get into the A site. They worked through almost every single player. They killed Buster who flanked, and then they got back to A. And
I hope these guys are here all weekend.
I know, right? This is good stuff. Really got to maintain eye contact.
Yeah, I feel like that's the most intimidating part.
Early utility both ways. It's been insane on Banana. Kill comes out almost every time in the first few seconds. This time, James and Buster combined for 2, 1 on each part of the map.
Really quick. Opening 20 seconds, and we're looking at eUnited scrambling towards Banana.
This has been a great game so far. Kicker it's low, but in this situation, they don't have to rotate or over-rotate too much. There haven't been many quad boosts, and there have been many half-wall boosts in Banana. That final 3 Band of Brothers with a minute up and a smoke down in their face. They're going to cancel the execute. Certainly would have came out right there. Don't assume they're going to fake just because they don't have info on A. They don't know how aggressive the CTs are on A. So it could be a problem for Avangar that they've got Kickered low. But they do have utility left over. Look at that. Oh my god. So much to work with. They put out their own Molotov.
Oh, Buster, he's just going to put himself in the smoke. Oh, wow. Moose actually reads it, and then entries into the back of the site. But how thorough are they going to clear? Not even given the chance. 25 seconds up, Moose, nice. 22 HP. He is removed, and that's a step down from the T sides of overtime. Remember, in the opening OT, it was 2 T rounds for each of these teams. This time, eUnited come up with only 1.
That could be a big stat line. It was nice for the overstack. They had the liberty to do it because they had 5v4 early on. So that's a big reason that Avangar have won. And honestly, it's just been rare that a team has gone down 4v5 and still recover the round. So all these early duels on Banana end up dictating the pace of the rest of the round in a big way. And I do like that they're both fighting for it, though, because it seems like whatever team has given up that space also is likely to just straight up win. It's awesome to see that they're turning this map control into round wins. Everyone's got all the money and utility they need. A little bit of early damage both ways. eUnited will stand strong on Banana. And once again, they don't smoke the bottom of Banana. They use Vanity to try to duel here. He's been good at that.
22 rounds is the win. The double OT. Got solo B hold in food with that op. So eUnited back to the CT side and starting off the second overtime the same way they started the first. Double op immediately. Food walks into a duel that he does not win. That opens the B site. It's going to allow for Buster to play the solo. He's going to go clear it, see what sort of rotation exists. That's a pretty late flashbang, you could argue, coming out. So I think, personally, that announces to Avangar that the rotator has just come in. You know, he throws a flash just in the off chance Avangar had pushed in. Doesn't have the info, but another great flashbang. Bounces back and blinds Cooper.
It's nice. Cooper doesn't freak out too much. 4v5, he's got to make something happen.
But James wants him to peek. James ready for it. Holding this lane side as his 2 teammates start to pressure Arch. Rotates out for eUnited. They're going to go stack the B site. And Cooper hits Kicker from behind.
What does that tell him? They were walking through the Arch smoke, but they've still got players on B.
Oh, the rotates. They don't know what to do. They've split. They've split the rotates, and Fitch has split in between them. He just has to get the best of either side.
Oh my god.
Yo, he has such a good position. He's got these CTs just feeling him out. It's awkward, but it's 7 seconds left, and Vanity can't stop Plant. That's all he wanted. He just wanted to deny the bomb, but Avangar splitting hairs into that B site. Damn, Fitch, talk about timing.
That's crazy. You know, a lot of that comes down to what Cooper can tell them in good conscience with the information that someone's walked through a smoke at Arch after clearing top mid. I think he makes a good read there, but somehow Fitch is able to get through into CT spawn.
Thing is, I feel like if you are Cooper, and the question is, you know, what can Cooper call? Does he anticipate 2 players walking through that smoke?
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to say.
And because of it, Fitch finds timing. And Fitch knew he was in an awkward position. Does he go help the bomb site? Because they needed numbers with the fact that there's 10 seconds left and probably defenders aplenty.
See that? Like, you know, when did 2 people walk through a smoke? Maybe
That's
he didn't hear a flash
James.
pop as well. So it seems like the stealth play works out really well from Avangar. 1 off of winning this match.
Yep. So eUnited only fighting for now a triple OT. Avangar with 2 chances to close. eUnited with 2 ops to try and keep it going, yet again. And this time a little bit more forward banana control. This is what started to win them rounds at the close of CT regulation. We haven't seen it as much in overtime. Cooper's gonna feel heat. Fitch just comes hopping across his screen. The peek from Kicker's denied. Cooper closes archway, and now the flank can activate, but they haven't found that bomb. It lingers on, alone, towards Arch. Avangar trying to find their opening into the A site, but they need to find the defenders, and eUnited are doing a great job of just keeping it cool in pit.
How aware are they going to be of these angles? Moose is.
Dropped. That cuts off the balcony player who's about to back into Vanity. Oh, wow. Get them.
Okay.
Slice and dice. Leaves Jame. 1 versus 5, and he's completely boxed in. He is screwed, but does get a chance versus Food, only then to fall to Vanity. Looking good for eUnited.
It's one way to win back a few fans.
Let's do triple OT.
I'm down for it. Would say, you know, Avangar in a prime spot, though. I think they're going to be happy to play this T side. And in this last round, what's going to be the move? Now, Cooper could have been smoked out from that spot, so A was still under threat. You know, again, let's see. Let's call it. It could be the 5v4 that just is the game right here. No opening duel for Cooper to take. CT is going to be played relatively passively. No early damage done for the CT. Slight advantage here for the T's now. Double grenade goes out, but it goes wide. T's make their way through the smoke. Wow. Vanity can't get any spam damage in. This is dangerous territory now for eUnited if they fall back.
Man, what a tense standoff on Banana this round.
Again, all this invisible damage is so important. And there's some into the CTs. Oh, good flash as well.
Pushes him back at least.
Read on the op.
It's Avangar really having to work for this banana control.
Molotov back in their face at mid. Now we need to count grenades. Still 3 smokes here for the T's. Enough flashes, enough mollies to make an execute of it. United. They're still in a decent spot as well. But that utility is like half over at A. No, it's all over at A.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, Vanity and Food come in. Clear Banana. Cooper's got another one. 2 more players come in. And both rounds now, he's able to shut down 2 players on his own. Kicker into the 1v4. AK and bomb in hand, but no, not yet. Triple overtime, baby.
That's insane. They win it back. They get the top banana control. They reclaim it. Man, they've been so good at just finding that really tiny window where it seemed like Avangar, like, we want to fake now. But they show up and they're like, all right, we have a good read on the situation. The calls have been on point for both teams, but more impressive for eUnited considering their level of play, and their stature as a team.
Wonders, we're not just opening the DreamHack Open Circuit of 2019 with a triple overtime BO1. This is the first DreamHack event of the year. What a treat. But it continues on. I gotta say, tip of the hat to Cooper, turning it up in overtime. Those double kills on both arch side and lane side in the last 2 rounds of that second OT. And now we start getting into the messy ends of things. You know, it's hard to reference the second half of the first overtime. Yeah. Things begin to get wild.
Again, so 25 rounds is a win. 24-24, we go into another OT. It does get a bit messy into the 20s.
That's life for you.
It's really, it's sick though that we're not just seeing random rushes every single round. It's so hard to like pull out new stuff every time. Oh, yep. Damage dealt and tagged it back. Cooper goes ahead and grabs that frag. Kicker is low, but it's still a very decent spot for the CTs.
That's a good point, actually. We haven't lost the structure of Counter-Strike yet.
Yeah.
And we're in a triple overtime, so let's see if the third time's the charm. Bomb dropped on the entry. Food just playing the new box. Anticipates a player up high. Buster's just going to buy his time, and then he commits. And it costs him. Last 2 survivors up for Avangar getting cut down as they tried to cross from Banana. And Moose, well, he goes for it. 20 seconds eUnited as they open up triple OT.
Yeah, they shut it down quick. Good picks from Cooper. Good damage dealt early on. Player getting tag counts for something. Avangar go ahead, steal the first round of OT number 3. solid on the CT side so far. And again, it's been right down the middle at this point for both teams, especially considering they're kind of well informed about how either team will play. Doesn't seem like the buy is make or break either. eUnited have been good on the on eco rounds. They don't have a lot of stuff to work with. Avangar haven't been put in that situation quite as often, but always terrifying. Could be any number of things that happen this round. I like, you know, it's cool that even though eUnited threw all of those nades to the bottom banana, didn't get any of the early damage in, they still were adamant about taking it at some point.
Yeah.
And then once they did, you know, they found a good spot to do that. So they know if they aren't successful on getting the opening kill on banana very easily, they're still going to be comfortable going in and being aggressive and not allowing Avangar to have that space that they kind of demand of teams all the time.
Right. I'd like to see, again, we're talking like deep banana aggression, but I'm also very curious to see if eUnited could pull out another 5v5 retake on the B site. Remember, we've seen that just giving it up the entirety of it for free one time. And not just one time in overtime, one time in this entire match. I'm curious. Back into the action. Quick tech pause, not a problem. Food, dropped by Kickert though. Forced forward by the Flames.
This is an ego duel at this point, you know? They want each other's heads. For Avangar, trade for Hall's control. Or I say trade, they take a kill and Hall's control.
It's a huge apartments burst boiling at the moment. Or brewing, rather. About to boil over. Moose might not expect this. Oh boy, here it comes! So many bodies! And Kickert, well, he's gonna get the entries. And the damage does go back the other way, but, I mean, eUnited strapped at this moment, 4 versus 2. We talked about the one-offs and how, you know, I brought up the eUnited 5-man retake. We have not seen Avangar come in on Porch that hard.
No, they have not done that, it's true. And they're just gonna go ahead and finish everything off. Vanity will not have a chance to retake. And probably won't have a chance to live either. A solid round from Avangar.
Nice.
They keep the pace high. They get the 5v4. They see A is weak. They go for the Halls pop. It's something fresh. It's not that complicated. And it's an execution that United have to be concerned about. But they don't seem concerned. They seem very comfortable. Good couple of kills here. And you know that the CTs were in transition. No way you want to stand front default if you know something like that's happening. So potentially United working on getting back some information and then getting caught in a window of opportunity. And that's something they've been able to do to Avangar very, very many times. So kind of a cool stat both ways. Entirety of Banana has been mollied up from both sides. It is a team effort, a team's effort. Like grenades go down. This time,
nice.
It's to the right corner as opposed to logs.
Bunker buster. 30 HP for him left over. And prying eyes with Food's op.
Damn, 3 Molotovs been used already for the tees. Food can stand behind 1, and unfortunately for him, only gets so much damage. But he comes right back for the peak, flashes for himself. CTs have rotated into the A site. Only thing is, Avangar have the 5v4, but that lead is quickly lost.
Sanji was ready, primed to strike out from Balk, but Moose will recuperate this, at least for a moment. The other 2 Ts not yet ready to cross, and there's a double CT setup here. This is going to be a gnarly crossfire. Marky's going to draw all the attention, and Moose has been primed to win this round. Last man in comes with Kickert. 10 HP. Looks like eUnited have bagged themselves a second CT round here in triple overtime.
It wasn't easy either.
And it's also not over. 30 seconds. Kickert gonna just shave off a bit of the clock looking for that first pick. But now what? Doubles back?
We haven't seen rounds messy enough to warrant the thought that he can pull something like this off.
Right.
You know, like eUnited have been fairly safe. And he's got an op.
That's not going to change. Look at Marky, deep committed position on arch side. Moose cannot be spotted. Oh, or can he? But not before Marky closes shop. eUnited, 23 rounds, 2 on this third CT side in OT.
Yeah, and they'll need 2 more to be able to pick this up. That's a tough spot here for Avangar. Oh man.
Well, that's how it happened.
Straight through, that's crazy, yeah. good wallbang damage. And again, just being as innovative as possible is what's really important, especially in these late round late game situations. Just way past regulation. You know, this is way past the playbook. This is all about now reading what you've seen already, as opposed to what you think a team's habits are. You know exactly what they're going to do if you read well enough into it. And this is almost a battle of IGLs at this point. But you also got to say, like, nobody's really whiffing. You know, I mean, there's just not much slacking going on. Even Food, who only has 21 kills, I feel like has showed up in a lot of rounds. Buster's been trying to win Banana and has been successful multiple times. This is not an easy game. There's no one to pick on.
That 4-man initial setup from Avangar at the B site, but peeling 2 off already, and eUnited, because they're smoked off, aren't just going to go for the Hail Mary A. I wonder if they now decide to go for like a heavy balcony push. They know it worked against them. You know, it's the one-offs. How many times will we see the one-offs? It's hard. You just said it. You know what you're up against. You know the tendencies, but you got to dig real deep to the playbook.
Buster has gotten so aggressive off of this information in the past. They know right now. I mean, they know that eUnited are probably going to go for an A play. Buster's been killed, though, a couple of times, so we'll see how confident he is in actually making the move. The nades come out. Keep an eye on that #1 player. First kill is down, and it's Kicker.
Yep. And we still have Fitch and Sanji just comfortably tucked away in pit. eUnited not going to come up with anything until Cooper does clear 1. That's Fitch down as he tries to get on top the bicycle.
And again, all the information working for Avangar here. Buster working
bombed
that half wall.
Finished. Poor Cooper on a 1/3 of his HP. Will be boxed in soon enough. That was Buster, as we talked about, down for Banana. Coop, cleared. Kicker gets him from the high road, and we're tied at 23. Remember, 25 the win, 24 quadruple OT.
I don't know. Honestly, seems more likely we get another OT than a team winning 2 rounds in a row at the moment, with the way these teams are playing. Again, no one really slacking. Such good rounds back and forth. Like a round previously, look at eUnited, well, damn, they look amazing. And then you look at that round, you're like, wow, Avangar didn't lose control for a second. Smoke goes deep. And, oh, that's how you hunt down your prey.
Oh, but there's so many more. Remember, this is a 4-player setup. Exactly what we got out of Avangar in the last round, and eUnited never knew. So despite getting that quick entry, they think it's theirs for the taking. Buster doesn't seem quite ready, but Sanji sure is. It falls to Moose once more. Avangar staring a 24th round in the eyes. But if we talk about the way James is set up to succeed in the clutch moments, then you have to mention Moose is the exact same equivalent for eUnited. Think of the times he's set up in apartments alone on A. This is a player that you want in the clutch. He is supposed to be your star. He is capable, but not able to get that first one. 2 CTs on the site. Kickered incredibly tagged. Smoke's going to redirect Moose, you'd think. He could also decide to try and trudge through this.
Yeah, that could have been his first and last opportunity. That smoke goes out, it's a whole lot harder now. James still got a full set of utility. Kicker just pushes out to flank him in Collins. Not expectant of that, and how could you be? Avangar still very confident.
Yep.
And now, one away from taking the map. They can do it here on the CT side.
You know, eUnited in the first round of this last bit of T side, we talked about it over the A site, you know, not very impressive, kind of falling short. Now this time it looked like they had that opening at B. I'm sure they convinced themselves they did, but they walked into Avangar's setup. And good on Avangar. In the previous round, 4 players B saw nothing, left Buster alone, and fast rotated towards A. Even though it wasn't necessary in that first round, they did it again in this round, and it does pay off for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's necessary in the sense that they don't come B, and so all the CTs at A are fully prepared.
Yeah.
No one's going to be... You remember how there was a hall spot from Avangar, and then, like, Marky was front default? You know, that's never going to happen if you've got banana control.
Right.
Because the team's going to be confident on A. They're going to be like, all right, XQ can come out anytime. We know exactly when to release our smoke. Nothing has to be preemptive. It's all informed. Oh, James almost dies. They call out that op shot. That was a very close call. I don't know if James let it go, but it might not matter. I'll take that damage and fall back into a new position to try not to get hurt. What a frag from Kicker.
That's a hell of a way to open.
Kills. Oh my god.
This is it, right? Remember, Avangar, they've got their 24th.
It's literally been the 2 players in the highest frag positions, Kicker and Vanity, going back and forth, typically dying early on, whether or not they win or lose banana control, and both getting over 40 kills in this match.
Took a little bit of effort, but Moose will get him.
Bitch was kind of fully exposed.
Yeah.
What was he watching? He didn't need to be that high up to watch lane with no one covering halls.
Oh, there's so much pressure on Kicker, but like you said, 41 frags. He's been nailing it for Avangar, smoke in hand. Just shoulder peeking, and doesn't even need to see them.
Oh, look at this.
Calls them out.
And look at full, and it's the perfect rotate. It's an op with full utility, and James going to be a secondary op. I mean,
Kicker takes the high road. James can play safe on Coffin, try to draw them in.
And Buster can throw another smoke and a Molotov in front of it. They have to execute into this.
This is going to be awful for eUnited. You'd think. Fire at the feet. Vanity, first one down. Bombs dropped, and that looks like it's over. Avangar just having Cooper left to deal with. In a 1v3, it's all he needs. But all is an extension. Here the player comes in from the back of it. Emo player's going to get him. Bomb never even planted. It took 3 OTs, but it's over. Avangar closing out eventually. What a test they were given by eUnited.
That's ridiculous. That is a tough pill to swallow if you're eUnited. I mean, you can look back on the map and think, that was fantastic. We played really well as a team, but here's a map that they could have won. They were so close in so many spots, and they don't get that easy route to the best of 3 in the playoffs. So really hard loss for eUnited, but overall a great map for us as spectators.
Right. I mean, that Cooper 1v3 in the 0-second defuse, there was a couple of bullets there that literally changed the result of this game. But Avangar able to close. And we talked about their experience, we talked about the tenure and the LAN experience, and it comes out here, but you've got to start talking about eUnited too. In terms of first showings, that was far more structured than I ever expected.
Yeah, only 2 lands deep, so much more to show from them. A lot of promise for eUnited, and you can expect that they go far in this tournament.
Oh, that's good stuff. I mean, highest rated team, definitely put to the test, but still survived it, folks. So we're done here. We've got a panel of good-looking analysts to hand this over to.
Oh, how polite.
Thank you,
He says
Sonny.
we're good-looking. How about that?
Appreciate that.
What a banger to start the day.
Yeah.
My
Wow.
God.
It's one of those things where it's amazing, but it's a nightmare for us because we have to talk about so much in so little time. And I just want to start off with this. eUnited lost that game, but man, were they so impressive. They played way stronger than I anticipated to be up against an opponent like Avangar. I mean, they were super calculated on their T side. They showed me a new side of them that I didn't expect. They're mostly very scrappy and rely on loose play, but they actually had some really nice set pieces on A. Fu was making really big plays. He had that big quad kill round in the middle of the first half. So they were really giving it to Avangar throughout the whole game. But then Vanity, dude, the story of that guy, he was so sick on CT side, just wreaking havoc, roaming around with this rifle on both sides, shutting things down, making big plays on T side as well in the overtime. So I just want to give them a little bit of credit before we start talking about Avangar's success, that they played really strong today.
They definitely did. And speaking a little bit more about Vanity, I find that on Inferno, it seems like in-game leaders, they really perform and shine for their teams on Inferno specifically, because on a map like Inferno, as we discussed, it's not so much mechanically heavy, it's more so strategically. And so we saw Vanity popping out and getting such good refrags, and that's what really stacked up his score line is him popping out into that banana, popping and rotating fast towards A and punishing any players. And most of the kills that Vanity got, he came out on top with nearly 100 HP multiple times. And so that goes to show that a lot of his contact plays that happened for him, it was a lot of cerebral plays that made him come out on top.
Now, we do have some highlights from that game, and I'm going to be honest, this could be about an hour long.
Oh, it certainly
because
could
there
be.
were so many individual plays throughout the game that were just massive performances from individual players, which is kind of what eUnited started with.
Yeah, certainly. That was that quad kill I was talking about earlier from Food that really kind of kickstarted United's success in the first half. But I got to give some credit where credit's due as well to Avangar. We haven't talked about them quite as we go through this. And Sanji was an absolute monster on the CT side, particularly in regulation. He got them a lot of the rounds they needed to stay close in that game and get it to an overtime level. He's a new guy on the team, doesn't have very much experience. He's from Uzbekistan, that doesn't get a lot of representation in international CSGO. And I thought he really played well, kind of the newcomer debut on a LAN environment for Avangar. So I want to give him a little bit of credit.
He for sure did. And speaking a little bit more about that clip on Food, that 4 kills, it was so impressive for him because leading up to that round, eUnited, as you discussed, they showed a lot of variety. They showed a lot of really good strategical approach towards specifically their banana. And leading up to that round for Food, they had been very aggressive towards that banana area. And so I think they were very much dictating the pace on their T side, as opposed to Avangar, where they were much more reacting towards eUnited. eUnited came in strong. They made Avangar test their banana and challenge Food there, and Food absolutely punished them and got a really fast reactive 4K.
Are those numbers
No,
right? Vanity?
they're not.
I was going to say 73 kills. Ha,
That's why I was a little
God.
bit confused. He actually had 43. He had 43 kills, and
Okay.
that actually equalizes to Quickard, who also had 43 kills. So I want to give him a little bit of shine as well. He's like the young rifle on his team. That is like the other star next to James. Certainly, very good play from him on the B side of the map in particular on both sides. That's kind of his main role, and he definitely did enough to get his team across the edge. And I mean, here's the deal. Like, we can sit here and nitpick all day long. We don't have that time, but what we can say is that this game came down to like milliseconds, and it came down to very particular 2-on-2, 3-on-3 type retake situations where it just so happened that eUnited kind of ran out of steam first. Like in that game where it's mental stamina, you're going forever, you're running out of plays, trying to think of what can we do that we haven't done yet, what can we catch them off guard with. It's just Avangar with their experience, you know, being through these situations more often, they had a little bit more gas in the tank.
I've got to say, though, I'm very much impressed with eUnited's B retake. We saw Cooper with an op very late into the first round. He didn't have an op until the 10th round, and I was a little bit worried about that, but their B retakes were so impressive. They had all rifles, and I believe Avangar went towards that B bomb site majority, even into OT, and eUnited's retake was really solid.
Yeah. We do have Fitch standing by for a post-game interview. You know, Fitch, that series was quite a intense series to start the day with. I don't know if you guys were really prepared for that or not.
So we actually don't. For me, I'm personally like didn't prepare for the Inferno, but I don't like Inferno actually. So, but first of all, I just want to say huge respect for the guys from eUnited because that was really hard to play against them for me. So anyway, we just won, and I'm glad.
I've got a question for you, Fitch.
Yes.
Would you say playing versus eUnited, a team that's a little bit more on your level, is harder or more challenging to you guys as a unit than it is to play versus, let's say, a Cloud9 or a Fnatic, who's a top 10 team or top 15?
For me, I mean, it's not a big difference between Fnatic or United guys or Cloud9 because it's Counter-Strike right now and it's tournament, so whatever which team is playing against you, and you have to be focused and like play what you're playing.
So, Fitch, I actually want to talk to you a little bit personally a bit because I know that like you kind of made a big debut in 2017 with Gambit at DreamHack Masters Malmo. So DreamHack is something that probably kind of resonates with you a little bit. I know that you've kind of been a journeyman on your way back to being on a top team. What does it feel like to, you know, be playing with Avangar and starting to have some success with this team?
Yeah, so when I was playing with Gambit team, that was time like when I was trying to get experience more and more. And right now it's the guys who I'm playing right now, Avangar team, they are young and they are really hungry to titles and everything. So it's really cool to be here with these guys because they're showing me all motivation and all that stuff that they want to play, like everything, they want to win everything, and it's like keeping me up and like that. You understand me? Like, it's really hard to
It's good to hear.
explain to you guys.
It's perfectly fine. Fitch, we're going to let you go so you can go celebrate with the team after your first victory here at DreamHack Open Rio 2019. Congratulations on picking up the win.
Thank you, guys.
That's a tough one, man. Like, this is such a long series. You know, one of the things I was thinking was how much prep time could they really even have for a team like eUnited who comes in and they don't really have much under their belt right now as a team.
No, not at all. Pretty much just EPL is probably the only demos we really could have looked at. Maybe a couple of online games to really get a feel for them. But the type of style of play that eUnited has, again, is very wily, very scrappy. And I feel like Vanity is like the personification of that. Like you saw that throughout the entire game. You could never really expect where he would be. I think that was like one of the biggest reasons why the game went so long. But also that Hail Mary approach can sometimes catch you in the end. Like eventually teams start to kind of figure that out and anticipate. That's where it becomes harder to be, you know, steady with that style of play. So I think that eUnited needs to be a little bit careful about that in the future. Kind of think about, hey, what are some stable things we can start really relying on? Which we did see some of that on their T sides, in fact. Like I thought they had some good tactics, actually.
They definitely did have some good tactics, but you're right. They do need to be a little bit worrisome because they didn't actually win any rounds on their T side where they attempted to do a sort of a default, right? And the top teams right now, their defaults and their foundation are so strong because that leads to very good consistency and it actually leads to W's. But I think in eUnited's position, they're a very scrappy team, right? And they're very creative. And I really appreciated watching that approach, but they do need to take into consideration to try to formulate a plan to be more consistent because I wrote down actually in round 24 and round 25 on eUnited's side, they had two very unlucky back-to-back rounds, and these come down to the fundamentals, the foundations within the squad, and it's not so much individual skill skill, right? And so one of the rounds we saw Food, he was turning away from a flash. I think it was some miscommunication with Marky, and it ended up being just a free kill on the Avangar side. So these little things that they can work on together and create that strong foundation, I think is really going to help push them to win these small rounds that in the end eventually will get them the W.
Here's one thing I do respect about eUnited, by the way. Like they kept up the scrappy style in this environment. Like a lot of teams will shy away from that. They'll get a little bit too timid. They don't play to their style. They want to be a little bit more cautious. And I actually respect that eUnited kind of kept that same game plan, even going up against like a top 15 team in the world. They didn't let the stage kind of frighten them away from what they like to do.
Yeah, I mean, that was a stage that some of these players aren't even necessarily accustomed to, playing in front of an audience that was very much loving that game. We are going to throw things to a break. When we come back, it's going to be W7M against Valiance on stage. So it'll be our first peek at one of the Brazilian teams. You won't want to miss it.